Feel to be back in San Diego?
It's amazing. I mean, listen, it's been obviously good to go over to Seoul and start our season, and now come back and we had a good spring training, got a lot accomplished, but no place like home. And you get back and you got only a chance to enjoy the beautiful city, but then had a great opportunity. We got in after getting in later that night, walking out here and showing Graham Pauly around, and have the opportunity him to walk out and look at the what's an amazing stadium. So it's good to be here.
Before we get into the baseball stuff, obviously Peter Seidler's celebration of life. How meaningful was that for you and the players to be a part of that?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked about that. We had a great opportunity to celebrate Peter Seidler's life on Saturday. I thought the ceremony was really well done. We actually still talking about it today. And what was one of the biggest tributes from some of the staff, including myself's takeaway from the ceremony, was the number of people that spoke about Peter rightfully glowingly from different lenses. And it just spoke to how cumulatively special this guy was. So it's a great celebration, and we're going to always continue to celebrate Peter during the season and beyond.
As far as the baseball side goes, coming out of Korea, a lot of positives came out of that series. Could have very easily been 2-0. Great output from the bullpen, offensively, a great approach. Some of the rookies did a fine job as well. What were the things that really stood out to you about coming out of that series?
A lot to unpack from that series. There was a lot of it was good baseball games. We ended up splitting it. Clearly could have won two, and but right in both of them. The thing that impressed me the most was the collectiveness of just how competitive the group was. Not that I didn't think they were going to be competitive, but just to the level I talked about after the second game. That was an identity game for a lot of reasons, because that was a tough one the day before. Hard fought, hard pitched, well played for the most part. Had a break that didn't go our way. That's life. That's the game. It's going to happen. But it's really how you respond to things that ultimately are a true test of individuals and teams. And showed up the next day and immediately announced our presence. Got punched back, and we just kept punching and getting after it. And so it was a day that everybody contributed in pretty much both games actually. But the spirit and how we competed and how we executed said a lot about the team, and is a very encouraging thing for the future.
Dylan Cease going for you today. How much are you looking forward to seeing him fire again? And where's that balance between getting his work in and staying fresh for his next outing?
Yeah. Dylan obviously going to pitch today. We're excited. Got to pitch in the exhibition game. To his credit, showed up after the trade and braved a long flight and came over and won the ball to pitch a couple innings in Seoul. Today, another exhibition game. Looking at the work, 4 or 5 innings, 70, 75 pitches type deal, which does set him up to pitch in the Giant series.
Who's your starter? Take a trip like that to Korea to just have your guys with you for a long suspended period of time. What can that do to togetherness, chemistry, just having everybody kind of in one place, and maybe the different distractions, not the same type of ones you're used to?
Yeah, you know what? The Seoul trip was good for a lot of reasons. First of all, we had a really good Peoria spring training where, we talk about togetherness a lot. The group got closer during our spring training. You could feel it on pretty much a daily basis. But then you go to Seoul and there's a next level of togetherness, long plane ride, different country, not a foreign country, because we have some guys that are from there. So the opportunity to get together with some really pleasant distractions in a sense of, we got a chance to share our game globally. So that was great, but we had that experience to do that together. And then there was some good opportunities for the group to get together off the field as well. Kim and his family were tremendous hosts to us, as well as Petco Park, which allowed for some opportunity for us to get together and just enjoy some off the field time, which obviously always can lead to a good team camaraderie.
Mike, who's starting Thursday?
Yu Darvish.
Okay.
Yeah, Yu Darvish.
Staying on turn. Simple as
Yeah,
that.
simple as that. He pitched the opening in the Seoul series against LA, and Joe will throw game 2, Cease will go game 3, and King will go game 4.
How's Manny's throwing going, and how do you see that progressing?
Manny's throwing's going well. He's just started, as we talked about prior to going to Seoul. First of all, he feels great. He's recovering well offensively. That was the primary goal, to make sure he was not only getting at bats, which he was able to do effectively. That was a big 3-run homer to salt the game away the other day. but also to make sure he's recovering well. And once he's doing those things, taking his at-bats, getting the volume he needs offensively, recovering well, now we progress. And we talked about being on track to do that when we got home. And he played catch yesterday, and everything by all reports went well yesterday. I haven't heard how he recovered today, but he's now coupling both, getting his volume of swings in, now introducing some extra volume with his throwing, and so that progression is taking place. And, not to put a timetable on it, but, loosely based, it's looking like a couple weeks of ramp up for him to be able to throw and do both and see where we're at.
Who will go game 5?
Waldron.
Huh?
Yes.
What went into that decision?
Great spring training, not an easy decision. We had a lot of competition for, there for a while, our 4th and 5th spots before we got Dylan in the mix. And so, we had a lot of competition there between Vasquez and Brito and Avila and, of course, Waldron. And, he just really pitched well. It was more about how he pitched well than the other guys not doing as well, because the other guys performed well also. So creates an opportunity for him to get that start.
Vasquez, Brito, and Avila, do they stay here in the bullpen? Do they go to AAA?
Yeah, no, we got all the guys here through the exhibition games today and tomorrow, and we'll announce our final roster in the next couple of days.
How do you feel about your rotation in general and your ability to fill innings as organizational depth is going to come into play? Do you feel better about it after the spring training?
Yeah, well, listen, we felt good about it in spring training. We liked the guys we acquired in the trade. We liked obviously Darvish and Yu, and of course King pitched really well. And mentioned, Waldron obviously securing a spot. Avila pitched well for us last year. We knew he had Brito, Vasquez in the mix. Once you had Dylan Cease, a guy that's led baseball in innings pitched, that's huge for our club, huge for our starting rotation. And now you're talking about 2 frontline guys and Joe and Yu, mixed with Cease, and now King is throwing the ball really well. We feel really strong about our rotation.
Jackson Merrill's in some pretty rare air starting in the outfield. Can you just speak to the character of someone that age and being put in a position like this?
Yeah, it's really hard to actually compute, really. He's done something that's pretty historic, actually. Not only one of 3 people to have done what he's done. One of them was in Seoul, Mr. Griffey Jr., which I think was cool, and it was nice to see them interact. So that was like a nice moment. So beyond that, he's a special young man, and recognized that a couple years ago when I met him. He continues to have that hunger to continue to improve. He's clearly got talent, but he's also uses every day and other people's experiences to grow from, and he's ready for the opportunity.
How do you approach this? You played 2 the count, and then you got a couple exhibitions. You got to ramp it back up again for Thursday. Do you maybe ratchet down a little bit to try and keep up the intensity so you don't have to try and flip the switch again? How do you approach these 2 games?
Yeah, listen, we just normalize how we compete. So the guys, there's a scoreboard out there. We're going to play to it. We're going to clearly get the guys opportunities. We're also going to be smart about the fact opening day's around the corner. We got a day game following by tonight, so. We'll get the regulars, good 6 innings of work. We'll take their temperature if they need more bats or not, and how they feel about it. But, we're just going to go out and compete and play the game. And, regardless of circumstance, we're going to play the game to win.